Stepmom, stepmom, stepmom.
This bombshell, that stepmom is lawyering up. Not just any lawyer, a high-profile criminal defense attorney.
The heat's on, and she's got a great lawyer.
Not one, but two 911 calls were made from the Kyron family home on Saturday.
Reports now revealing there was a mystery 911 call at the couple's home Saturday night.
A major Horman family shakeup.
Who called 911? What happened?
We implore Terry Horman to fully cooperate with the investigators.
Terry Horman was with the 7-year-old June 4th at Skyline Elementary in Portland, Oregon.
The last known person to see little Kyron alive.
Back to the lines. Barbara in Florida. Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I'm good, dear. What's your question?
My question is, do you think she was going to leave the husband and went down to that island and met her boyfriend and passed off the little boy?
And the reason is?
But why, if she was going to leave her husband, why involve the little boy? Why not just leave him at school and go hook up with whomever? And at this point, to you, Kevin Miller, is there any suggestion of another man?
Nancy, there's no suggestion of another man. And remember, Kane was home that day working from home in the afternoon and did pick up, was on his way to go see Kyron with Terry at the bus stop. He was there, and he did report him missing along with Terry.
To Lori in Kentucky. Hi, Lori.
Nancy.
Hi, dear. What's your question?
Yes, I have a comment and a question.
Okay.
I know that the stepmom had said that she wanted to stay home and be a mom to the son, and that's why she quit work as a substitute teacher. Now, here in Kentucky, they do a very extensive background check, even if you're a parent and want to go on a field trip. Has anybody looked into the fact, because I know the timeline is kind of the same, that this happened at the same time as her DUI, her child endangerment charge, that perhaps she's lied about that also, and she didn't decide to stay home, but she had to stay home because she got terminated?
You know, that is a great point. Let's go back over what we know. To Kevin Miller, when was the DUI and child endangerment?
2005.
Nancy, that was in 2005, and then Terry Horman did complete a program, and the charge was stricken from her record. It was dismissed, but yes, that was in 2005.
And when did she decide to stay home and quit teaching?
That was very recently, as far as the specifics, I don't have that.
What do we know, James Pitkin? Do you know when she decided to stop teaching?
I believe that was shortly after she married Kane in 2007. She wanted to stay home and raise Kyron.
So all of this is happening within about an 18-month period. That's a good point, Lori in Kentucky. To Joanne in Texas. Hi, Joanne.
3 years,
Hi,
maybe?
Nancy, and hi, class. You guys are my heroes. Hey, Nancy, I've hiked that area in Oregon, and I swear I still have mud on the shoes that I hiked in. So did they confiscate shoes?
Good question. To Matt Zarrell, what do we know? We know that the home was searched, right? At least once.
The home was searched multiple times, and without search warrants, they voluntarily let police search. Police will not reveal what was taken from the home, if anything.
Okay, back to Kevin Miller. Kevin Miller, we know that police have taken dogs out to Sauvie Island. I want to go through one last time. If you could explain to me where the pings were and where stepmommy says she went after she dropped the little boy off at school.
Well, Nancy, that's a point of contention because you have the police that have interviewed her several times. You've got 2 polygraphs, and you've got the pinging on Sauvie Island, which is about 5 to 10 miles from Skyline School. And those are the details that we're still trying to figure out. The timeline being, she says that she last saw Kyron alive at Skyline Elementary School at 8:45. Then you have various reports of whether she was at the gym or she was around the house, and Kane was home in the afternoon. And then about 3:45, she and Kane reportedly went to the bus stop to pick up Kyron. He wasn't there. They then called the school. Then the school then, from what we know, called the authorities.
So the pings place her at Sauvie Island, but her story doesn't place her at Sauvie Island. Explain the pings, J. Salpeter.
Where you are. A ping is a tower which can track where you are actually calling or receiving a phone call from. So that's what the pings are.
So her story doesn't jive with the cell phone evidence.
No, it doesn't jive, but you know what, Nancy? They are so far from closing or even making an arrest. What I see so far here, this just might be an unsolved case. Unless they find the body, once she lawyered up, She hurt the investigation. So unless they find the body and then could forensically, hopefully tie her in, this case just might go unsolved. And honestly, I like to polygraph the husband too.
Well, I'm not convinced that he hasn't taken a polygraph.
Well,
I don't know. I think with the mother, the bio mom. Do you have that sound for me, Dana? The bio mom making a public plea today, begging for cooperation. Take a listen to this.
Kyron is still alive. We would like all of you, everyone, to continue to get his face out there, to continue looking for him in your day-to-day activities. We pray each day for Kyron. We are working with investigators daily to bring Kyron home. We are extremely confident in how the investigation is going to bring him home to us. We implore Terry Horman to fully cooperate with the investigators to bring Kyron home.
I want to clarify something that was said earlier about the Horman family not giving Harry Oakes and his search dogs items of Kyron's clothing. They have handed over multiple items to police to use for their tracker dogs. They did not give them to Harry Oakes. They said that they are cooperating with police only. Is that correct, Mr. Oakes?
As I know.
Repeat.
As far as I know, that statement's correct. We have made multiple pleas to get a Sun article. If they're so concerned about finding their son, who cares who finds him?
What about that, Mark Class?
I think that's a really unfair thing to say. Of course they are concerned about getting back their son. Apparently Mr. Oakes is a completely independent operator here, not working for the police and not working for the family. So if anybody's motives are going to be called attention to, I think it would be his, and certainly not the family's.
Well, in my mind, as I once had an 84-year-old judge tell every jury, try your best, bend over backwards to try to make all parties speak the truth. In other words, find a way to make everything they're saying, even if seemingly conflicting, make sense. So I think Mr. Harry Oakes comes in this with the best intentions, and I believe the Horman family handed over all those items to police for tracker dogs to use. Back to the line, Cindy, California. Hi, Cindy.
Hi. My question is this evening, I know she hired a criminal attorney and not for defense, not an attorney for her divorce.
That's right. It's not a domestic. That's not a domestic lawyer. You're right, Cindy.
Exactly. Why is she hiring a?
Okay, to all the listeners, did L.E. state that they had Terry's cell phone pings which led them to the island to search for Kyron, or did L.E. just go to the island and search for Kyron? I don't have the fine details regarding the investigation, so if someone could inform me on whether law enforcement said that they had the pings that brought them to the island rather than them just searching the island. And Nancy said 18 months. I don't know where she got 18 months. From 2007 to 2010 is 3 years. So when Terry left working to stay home to be with Kyron in 2007, and 3 years later Kyron's missing, it's still 3 years, not 18 months.